What's going on? It's my life in the shot. I'm your host, Adam Washington, a Virginia rapper. He is accused of going into his family's house, his mother and his two siblings, and shooting them. I'm going to bring you guys the story. One of the craziest things about this story is that they're going to say that he dropped his music video after he did that. I'm going to also bring you guys the GoFundMe. A lot of people are saying, hey, they brought up where's the father at? Because in the GoFundMe, it's going to say she's a single mother of 4. But however, if you guys look in the second sentence, she's going to say that she was an advocate, a dedicated advocate for domestic violence and mental health. This is one of the things in our communities we must address. Now, this website here is a place for people to be able to go and get help. And, I would encourage people, and most families are dealing with somebody in the family that has some sort of mental, whether it's diagnosed or not, to get some type of help. I'm going to bring you guys also some of his videos. The video that he was supposed to have dropped was called Be Free. But however, I don't think that's it. I don't think I was able to find it. But I want to bring you guys some of his other videos he had on World Star Renee. What's going on? What's going on with this story?
Yes, another rapper in the headlines. So on Tuesday, March 28th, 2023, Tiye Adam Washington II, known as Egyptian the rapper, 26 years old, broke into his mother's home, shooting the mother, Tyesha Hall, his 21-year-old sister, and his 12-year-old brother. Now, he did also have a 10-year-old brother who was there. He wasn't injured, thankfully. And he fled the scene. The police put a manhunt out on him. 2 days later, he was found in Rutherford County, North Carolina, where he had a shootout with the police, and he was killed.
Right. Okay, so now this is the family here. This is the mother to the right, to your right. That's the siblings there, and then that's the daughter right there. From what I got from the news, this is the mother here. This is her GoFundMe, and one of the things. All right. Also, so now, after he allegedly walked in March 28th, after he allegedly walked into his house, allegedly shot his mom, shot his sister who was 21, right?
Yes, and his 12-year-old brother.
And shot his brother, right? The next day, yes, he posted on Instagram, "My last request from humanity." That's another thing too. I see on my Facebook and Instagram and Facebook, I see some cries for help. So much do a lot of families don't want to call the police because sometimes you may have a family member you scared that the police may ended up shooting and killing your family member. So a lot of times people don't call. So a lot of times there's no history of it. But he posted on Instagram, "My last request from humanity is that you seriously evaluate the care you have for each other. If this species is ever to evolve, we must stop eating animals." I don't know if he was a vegetarian, maybe so. Stop wearing with each other, taking from Mother Earth. He typed, "Overthrow sadistic government and rebuild on a fresh foundation. It's time for me to rest now." So that was a clear sign that he's, kind of, and it was pretty much suicide by cop because the next day, March 30th, they found him in North Carolina doing a standoff, and he pretty much said, "I'm not going free. I'm not, going peacefully."
Yeah, and on that Instagram post as well, I think towards the bottom, he says farewell on that Instagram post as well. He does say goodbye.
Yeah, pretty much. He's saying, right, "Oh, and it's time for me to rest now." Somebody I know posted something on Facebook like, "I'm tired, this is it," and everybody was like, "Hey girl, relax, don't do it." This is a GoFundMe, all right? So, a lot of people are asking, where's the father in this? And a lot of cases that we cover, that's the question that comes up in the comments. Okay, where was the father? Where was he at? And reading this is saying dedicated advocate for domestic violence. So I'm wondering, was there some domestic violence in her background and or mental illness? Because they're saying she was a dedicated advocate for domestic violence and mental illness. A lot of times, we don't have a history here. We don't know because she may not have called, and a lot of us don't like to get help. It could also be some
Right.
type of undiagnosed trauma as well, man. It could be somebody that's locked up that's not addressed all the time.
Yeah, so we don't know if he had a criminal record, and we don't have a history as far as mental illness. Those things haven't been released, but so far we haven't heard of anything like that.
Right. So one of the things that this GoFundMe has raised $12,000, and they are still recovering. They are in critical condition, and it's saying that it's going to take some months for them to recover. They did survive, if there's any light in this case.
Yeah, so the mother, I read a report if this is true or not, but it's believed that she was shot in the chest, and they're saying at least 4 to 6 months. 6 months is probably the prognosis of how long it'll take her to recover.
So you also read something like, we don't know if this hasn't been confirmed, and we don't know, but several bloggers had stated that they think that she was possibly trying to get him out. I don't know if he lived there. In the news articles, he's saying he broke into her house. What did you hear, Renee?
Yeah, I read something that said that he was living there at the residence with the mother and the siblings, and she asked him to leave, and so that could have maybe sparked this. I know the latest video I read somewhere that it didn't do well, so maybe he was a struggling artist, and maybe he just wasn't contributing much.
Yeah, we don't know, right? This
Right.
is what we've read, and we don't know the story. However, so many factors contribute to mental illness, and one of the things I want to, I feel that a lot of people take it out in different ways. This is one of the reasons I bike ride, rollerblade, meditate, to release that stress every day, and I think everybody else should do the same. All right, so in the GoFundMe, what I noticed is, and I believe to be a family member, I think maybe the auntie, which was the sister of the mother, I believe. I don't know, but you wrote, no mother should have to bury her son. Granted, he allegedly shot the family, but it's still, it still hits home. It's still, it's still a family member. It's still a son, no matter what.
And also note that there was a 10-year-old sibling that wasn't shot. I mentioned earlier. He's the one that actually called the police. So just think about the mental and the emotional toll that it has taken on him.
And so much, I did a video with children was walking past somebody and they was taking pictures on their way to school of somebody that was killed in the grass. And I'm like, all of those kids, that kid is forever going to have a mental, is not going to be there. And so much trauma in our community, undiagnosed trauma. So this is why I wanted to bring this particular website. This website is hotline.org. thehotline.org. And you can give this to a family member, because so much, a family member with the undiagnosed trauma, jail can cause this. It's really literally PTSD. They are traumatized, and it comes out.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be traumatized.
And I did so many stories where family members had to call the police on their family member, only to get there and their family member ends up shot.
Yeah. So a family friend spoke about Tiye, aka Egyptian, and she said they didn't even see this coming. She said there was no signs that he would do something like this. So we don't know what sparked him to do this.
So what I mean, we really don't know. I mean, she, granted she wasn't in the household, possibly, maybe it wasn't talked about, maybe it wasn't, because obviously it was something stirring, possibly. So this website that you can go to, you can actually, have your family member text someone, chat, or even call someone, and it's supposed to be available 24 hours. And one of the things that I liked about this website, you can kind of go through, and you can go through it. There's what to show about, plan for safety. How can you plan to protect yourself, whether it's a spouse, maybe it's a child.
Yeah, we definitely in the Black community definitely to have more resources and have people reach out for help. I know that's something that we don't speak about a lot.
Right. And, once somebody has, trauma like that, they don't think they do. They don't feel, I don't need help. I don't need
Right.
anybody. What are you talking about? So this is a website that you could just, hey, maybe slowly email them a link to it and just say, hey, if you need somebody to talk to, hey, here's the website. I'm going to try to put it in the description box. Here's a website that you can go to. You can chat
Yeah,
with
and you can
somebody and just
probably
say,
yeah,
yeah, because
yeah.
sometimes these people just really want to reach out and get some help slowly and don't want nobody else to know. I
And you
want
can
to,
probably remain anonymous with a lot of those outsourced programs. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, I tried to look up the video that, a lot of people was like, yo, how can you do that to your family? And all of a sudden you upload a video and
Yeah, and
you
the
in the
video is
video, you know what
titled
I'm saying?
Be Free.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it had to be some sort of mental illness, some trauma, depression.
Yeah. Undiagnosed. I think I read again, like I read somewhere that his last video that he dropped prior to this wasn't doing well. He didn't have as many, views or whatever. So that, I mean, he could have very well been depressed.
So yeah, I see a lot of people posted on Facebook and they're like, hey, depression doesn't come out all the time as somebody sad and lonely and
Right.
in the house. You may see somebody coming out smiling, happy, and you may think that person is on top of the world, not knowing.
Yeah. You just never know. You just never know what someone is going through.
So, and the history of rap, we got to talk about that. I even want to talk
Yeah.
about, what, man? A lot of people think that smoking weed is just the greatest thing in the world. And I'm like, yo, you're still getting it off the street. You don't know what people are
Right.
putting in it.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I had a
You,
homeboy who ended up ending his own life, but he was a heavy weed smoker and he had a family, a wife, and I'm like, how are you depressed?
right.
How?
They definitely add a lot of different drugs in it. They can add fentanyl. They can add all types of stuff. So, yeah.
Right. So, and people I talk to, I'm like, hey, what happened? Y'all know anything? And they're like, man, he just came and he bought something from some homies, went home, so I'm
Yeah.
very leery. Um,
Yeah. And also too, the violence of the rap culture. I feel like we've been, commenting and talking about rappers a lot. It was some type of violent headline.
Absolutely. So, tragic story. I hope his family recovers. 10-year-old brother, son of Tyesha's,
Was
he's gonna be forever
witnessed everything.
traumatized.
Yeah, witnessed everything. So we don't have any updates, just that they had life-threatening injuries. It's going to take the mom a long time to recover, and they're just in critical condition. But that's all we have for the updates.
Anyway, shout out to everybody sending me stories. Thanks, Renee, for coming on. Make sure you guys like, comment, let me know what you think about this video. Peace, peace.
On fire, ooh, down to the wire. It's my life in the shy. Ooh, it's my life in the shy.